I came back from a business trip a day early, thinking I'd surprise her. No calls, no warning, I just wanted to walk through the door, leave my bag by the couch and press a soft kiss to her forehead while she slept. That's how I pictured it. Simple. Loving. Familiar. But the house felt wrong. Too quiet. So. Her car was in the driveway, the curtains drawn, the porch light still glowing from the night before. I remember how it made me pause for just a second. Then I opened the door. Inside, the silence was louder. Not the comforting hush of a sleeping home, but the kind of silence that hides something, that holds its breath. And then I heard it, not words, not laughter, but rhythm. That unmistakable rhythm of bodies moving together in a way that doesn't belong in a faithful marriage. My heart beat faster. My hand hovered over the bedroom door. I already knew deep down. Instinct doesn't lie. And when I pushed it open, there they were, frozen. She lay beneath him, barely covered by the sheets. Her hair was wild. Her lips swollen. Her eyes locked onto mine and drained of all color. I didn't know you were, she started. I raised a hand to stop her, keeping my voice calm, level. Don't stop, I said, stepping inside like I had every right to be there, because I did. I just need to grab my bag. Then I'll leave you lovebirds in peace. He scrambled for his pants. She reached for the blanket. I didn't wait. I walked to the closet, picked up my duffel, slipped my suit jacket over my shoulder. Then I turned to look at her, this woman I had given everything to, and said, "You two can have the bed. I'll take the truth." I didn't slam the door. I didn't scream. I just walked out, letting the silence swallow everything behind me. But inside, a storm was already building. A storm she wouldn't see coming. She didn't follow me. Didn't call. No texts. Maybe she thought I needed space. That I'd return in a few days, tail between my legs, ready to forgive. She had no idea who she was dealing with. Because while she lay there next to him in our bed, I was already 10 steps ahead. First, I moved in silence. Checked into a modest hotel on the edge of town, paid in cash. No digital footprint, no trail. Then I logged into our cloud storage. She had never turned off her phone backups. And just like that, I had a digital window into her betrayal. Screenshots. Messages. Photos taken in our living room. On our couch. Voice notes where she laughed about me. He's sweet but so predictable. I could tell him anything and he'd believe it. Wrong. I believed in us. She mistook that belief for stupidity. Mistook trust for weakness. By sunrise, I had locked her out of our joint bank account. Isolated her financial access. Froze our shared credit cards. Canceled the backup card she used when she needed help. Every step she took from that moment forward would cost her, and she wouldn't even see it coming. At 10:42 a.m., the first message came in. "Lena, can we talk? Lena, I messed up. Please just talk to me. ***. Lena, I didn't mean for you to find out like that." I said nothing. Every hour I stayed silent, I was tightening the noose. Not out of anger, but out of clarity. Her mask was slipping. Lena, the polished hostess, the darling of every dinner party, the golden girl who kissed me on the cheek in front of friends like we were in a fairy tale. Everyone believed we had a perfect life. So I let them see what I saw. I didn't send angry texts. Didn't blast her online. I created a shared folder. Screenshots of texts. A timeline of their meetings. Hotel bookings in her name. And one photo, just one, of them together in our bed, captured from the cloud camera she didn't know I had synced. I sent the link to 4 people. No caption. No explanation. Just, "You should know the truth before she tells you her version." The fallout came fast. One unfollowed her within an hour. Another replied with 2 words. "Jesus Christ." By nightfall, her phone was blowing up, not with sympathy but with shame. The golden girl had been dragged into the light, and the shine was gone. Then came her father. A man who had never liked me. Always thought I wasn't enough. His voice cracked over the phone. "I don't know what to say." "You don't have to," I told him. "Just know that I loved her." And she buried that. "I'll speak with her," he said quietly. "Don't let her speak with herself for once," I replied. And I hung up. Her lover? Eric. She saved him in her phone as Emma, a clever trick. I guess she figured I wouldn't look twice. But I did. I pulled the full contact record from the cloud. Name, number, LinkedIn. And just like that, the man who shared my bed behind my back had no place left to hide. Want me to continue from this point, where Lena's world continues to unravel? I needed to go deeper. If I was going to end this, it had to be thorough. Precise. Step 4 wasn't about anger, it was about truth. It was about making sure every thread of their fantasy unraveled, and that no one else got caught in the web of their lies. Eric wasn't some reckless one-night stand. He was engaged. A polished, smooth-talking corporate salesman working for a firm that prided itself on family-first values. The kind of guy who shook hands with a smile and lied with ease. Their wedding was 6 months away. I knew because I'd seen the photos, their happy announcement, all grins and filters. So I found her. His fiancée. I didn't know her name until I pulled it from their registry. I didn't need to know her to understand what she deserved. She wasn't part of their deceit, just collateral damage. So I wrote her. You don't know me, but I know who you think Eric is. Asterisk asterisk. I'm sending this because you deserve to choose the truth for yourself. Attached were screenshots of Eric and Lena's messages. One of them showed a grinning selfie he took, inside my home office. Another, Lena calling him, our little secret. All dated weeks before their engagement post went up. She responded the next morning. Thank you. You didn't owe me anything, but you gave me everything. Then she disappeared just like that. Vanished from social media. Gone. The next move? Eric's career. I called the ethics line at his company. Not anonymous. I gave my name and sent in evidence. Screenshots of Lena texting him about client events she'd attended with him as his +1, flights booked on the company card that matched her weekend visits to other cities. 2 weeks later, his profile was wiped from their website. His LinkedIn went dark. I didn't destroy his career. He did that with his own arrogance. I just made sure someone held up a mirror. Then came the conversation she never wanted. It was raining the day she showed up. No makeup, hair matted to her forehead, hoodie soaked through. Not the woman who'd perfected her image for years. Not the woman who sparkled in photos and turned heads at brunch. This version was stripped bare. Broken. She stood outside my building for a long time before I buzzed her in. I didn't do it for her. I did it for me. Because sometimes the most brutal truth is letting someone speak, when no one believes them anymore. She sat across from me like a stranger. No wedding ring. Just shaking hands wrapped around a warm cup of coffee she never drank. I know I deserve what happened, she said, voice barely audible. But I need you to know I didn't plan for it to go that far. I nodded slowly. Lying once is a mistake, I said. What you did. That was a campaign. She winced. You were good to me, she said. Too good. I thought I needed more. So you took it, I said. In our bed. Again and again. Silence. I've lost everything, she whispered. And for the first time in weeks I looked her in the eyes. No, I said. You gave it away. Then I slid the envelope across the table. Inside were the final divorce papers. A clean settlement agreement. No room for debate. No soft exit. She stared at it for a long time. Is there anything left? She asked. I stood up. Yeah, I said. The door. Use it. Because peace, I've learned, doesn't come from screaming or getting even. It comes from leaving, fully aware of what you saw, and choosing not to carry the weight any longer. 3 months later it was all finalized. No courtroom drama. No ugly fights over who got what. Just a quiet signature on a relationship that had already flatlined the moment I opened that bedroom door. She didn't fight for the house. Or the car. Not even the dog. Maybe because she finally understood she'd lost far more than possessions. She'd lost the version of me who believed in her. And that version doesn't come back. I didn't dive into some whirlwind rebound or drown in parties. No cryptic quotes about growth. No carefully curated social media healing arc. I just lived. New locks. New number. New rules. The house felt lighter. Not empty, free. Like the air had finally cleared. Like it could breathe again. Weeks later she sent a message. I hope you're okay. I miss you sometimes. I didn't reply. Because closure isn't a conversation. It's peace. And peace comes when you know who you are, what you lived through, and what you refuse to become in the aftermath. I didn't get revenge by tearing her life apart. She did that all by herself. All I did was walk away and let her feel what honesty sounds like when there's nothing left to hide behind.